Hello everybody and welcome back to the Bengals Madden 01 franchise mode. We are in year 3, and after a skid in the last couple episodes, I simmed a few weeks ahead, and we find ourselves in a logjam, folks, in the AFC, with about 5 or 6 teams sitting at 6 wins here. It is just absolutely loaded at the top, with the Broncos taking that top spot with only 1 loss on the season, which is just nuts. We are tied at 6 wins apiece with the Jacksonville Jaguars, with the Titans directly behind us at 5 and 4, and the Steelers and Ravens not far behind at 4 and 5. So we got about a 5-horse race, really, in the AFC Central. The only team that's really out of it is Cleveland, of course. But yeah, I mean, it's anybody's division still at this stretch in the season, and after a win in week number 9 against the 49ers in convincing fashion and a close win over the Browns, we find ourselves in a pretty darn good position with the division still on the table, which after the Titans game, you would have thought this thing is cooked, bro. I think someone even commented that it was a lost season, bro. But hey, have faith in these Bengals, okay? We got primetime football in Cincinnati against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm sure you're paying attention to the screen, but there is a bombshell with this offense that I'm going to reveal to you later in the video as we get to our offensive drives. But you can probably already tell by just watching the video and paying attention. But yeah, so we really desperately need to win this game against the Steelers, man. It is going to be, we just need it. We need it to get ahead in the division here. The Steelers have already choked us up earlier in the season, and we cannot lose really any ground against division opponents. So we're going to start with Pittsburgh's first offensive drive here on 2nd and 10 at about their own 23 or 4 yard line. Cordell Stewart's going to drop back with pressure in his face, but he's going to find a wide open Hines Ward, who was behind about 2 or 3 Bengal defenders who seem to be all just blanketing Troy Edwards, but he was not the threat Hines Ward was. So yeah, we had someone get right up in there, but just couldn't quite close the gap on the quarterback, as Pittsburgh is able to get now into our territory just past midfield. So on 1st and 10 now, Cordell Stewart's going to go with the handoff to the fullback, a rookie fullback. Pittsburgh investing some draft capital into the fullback position. Why not, man? This is the era that we're in, and he gets just about 4 yards on that pickup. On 2nd and 6, Cordell Stewart's going to flip it out to Hines Ward again. It's going to go off of Newsom's back, who was not paying attention, but he was in position, so it's fine. Then on 3rd and 6 here, Pittsburgh needs a lot here. Oh, but they're going to need even more now, as there's some movement on the O-line. It looks like one of the tackles here was getting a little bit too eager, so now Pittsburgh is going to move back a handful of yards here and try this one again from 3rd and 11 from about that midfield logo. Pressure gets to Stewart again, and that pass to Edwards it does not connect. Edwards hop skips over the ball, and that goes right through his legs. So that's going to do it for Pittsburgh's first drive, but we are unable to do anything with the football here in the first quarter. So Pittsburgh's going to get another opportunity late to see if they can add some points before the quarter ends, and already they are off to a hot start again with a similar play that got them to a similar place on the field with Hines Ward. So I guess they just rerun the same play, and it works just as well. Hines Ward is is open. I don't know why I said empty. Open towards the middle of the field on that seam there. And that is going to flip the field again for the Steelers offense. So 1st and 10 now from about hour 47, looks about. Cordell Stewart's going to drop back here, and he's got a good pocket. Throws it across the middle to Bruner, I think. Bruner or Brenner, however you say his name. The tight end who was absolutely giving us hell earlier in the season in Pittsburgh, man. He finally connects, or Cordell Stewart finally connects with him for the first time today. So on 2nd and short here, across the middle is Troy Edwards making a beautiful grab to haul this one in for a first down and a heck of a lot more for the Steelers offense. So they are finally moving the football, something that neither offense has really been able to do in this first quarter, as you see both teams putting up fat old goose eggs after, air quote, 15 minutes of play. So on the next play here, Cordell Stewart with a very clean pocket takes all day to throw, and he finds, I believe that's Farmer, I think, the white boy receiver. Every team's got to have at least one, right? Is that the rule? I don't know. I know we don't have one. So it's going to be 1st and goal for the Steelers offense here at about the 9-yard line, 8 or 9 yard line. So Stewart's going to go with the handoff to Lewis, the fullback, the rookie fullback, and he doesn't have much of anywhere to go with the ball, and he gets brought down. So on 2nd and goal now, just Bettis is now sitting in the backfield, and they're going to go with Bettis, and that is Ross, who surges up the middle and gets to Bettis and closes that gap and brings him down well-aligned behind the line. So 3rd and goal. Cordell Stewart going to come out in shotgun formation. He's got to get this one in the end zone, and instead he finds a Bengal defender who seems to be having a malfunction inside of his brain and cannot take a knee, but it's okay because he holds onto the ball and gets brought down safely, and that is still going to be an interception for this Bengals defense. I don't know what happened. He seemed to have short-circuited, but it's fine. Everything is okay. He's alive, we think. He might have had a stroke. I'm not entirely sure. We don't hardly ever show interceptions because they don't hardly ever happen for our defense. But here's the big bombshell to reveal to you. You may see that, man, we have a white man at quarterback, when for this roster we don't normally have that. And he's apparently capable of getting the ball out to Gross, who's capable to get some yards after the catch for a huge first down. But, yeah, we have Kelly Holcomb as our starting quarterback in this game here. Achilles Smith is injured. I will flash the injuries very briefly at the end of this video here, but at some point in the last 2 games that we simmed, Achilles Smith suffered an injury, a pretty, I don't want to say minor, because he's out for a few games at least, but he is injured, so we are, it is the Kelly Holcomb show for the Bengals offense today, as we are moving the ball pretty well here. That was a very close pass to Ron Dugans, which unfortunately does not stay in bounds. On 2nd and 10, Holcomb dropping back, steps forward in the pocket a little bit, tries to find Dugans again and can't quite connect there. Dugans had a half step on that defender, but the ball was just not where it needed to be. So on 3rd and 10, Holcomb stepping up in the pocket, lasers another ball to Ron Dugans. It looks like Sharper was in the vicinity too, and that one cannot get to Dugans. That's Lathon Flowers of the Cardinals series fame. If you remember, we signed him. But we're going to bring out John Green to try and nail a very long field goal, and he does not have the leg for it. So that's a miss. And I mean, he's missed his share in his career already. And I mean, we asked a lot of them here. This is probably close to, I mean, it probably is over 50 yards, well over at least 50 yards, maybe 50 to 55, and he does not have the leg for it. So Pittsburgh can't do anything with the ball, so we have an opportunity here in the last minute or so of the half with Kelly Holcomb running things, and he took about 30 years to make a decision with the ball, and he could not complete the pass. So it's going to bring up 4th and 10. We're going to have to bring out the punt unit. And you know what that means. If I'm showing special teams, it means something goes wrong, and something absolutely does for Pittsburgh, as Pittsburgh's return man cannot field the ball cleanly, and we have a man there who is in position to make the recovery. So we completely flip the field now and have a prime offensive opportunity just outside the red zone here with a minute left to go. So Holcomb taking all day to make a decision again, and this time it does not work well for him as he gets a defender in his face to stuff that pass. So on 2nd and 10 now, what are we going to try to do here? We got to move the ball at least a little bit. We need some points on that board in this first half. So Holcomb dropping back. He rounds into Corey Dillon and Lathon Flowers, the safety, man. They send the safety and it gets home to Holcomb. So 3rd and 16 now. I mean, I need Holcomb to do something, man. Show me why you're on this roster. And he floats it out to Gross, the fullback, out of the flat again. He had the first huge pickup for Holcomb earlier in this game, and it looks like that seems to be the game plan. But Gross cannot get to the first down marker. He's about a yard short. So we're going to burn through most of the time we have left and rest it all on John Green's leg to at least get us 3 to end the half, and he does just that. So a 3-0 lead is going to be your score after a whole half of football played, man. This is a gross game, but I think the first one was pretty gross too. So on our drive out of the half here, Kelly Holcomb finally gives one up, man. I mean, with all the bad decision-making he's done, he finally lays up an absolute duck, and Pittsburgh's got great field position here to capitalize on that mistake here as Jerome Bettis is finally getting his name called as he carves up some defenders and gets a first down for Pittsburgh. So 1st and 10 now, moving here. They hand it off to Lewis, the fullback, and he gets choked up here at the line pretty quickly. So we're all over that fullback dive here. They're really relying on it, and we are all over it. And boom, there's Ross again, stuffing Lewis. Ross is having a huge game at the line right there, man. He is just absolutely not getting tricked by these run plays. But apparently Bruner, the tight end, can seem to exploit our defense time and time again. I'm surprised the Steelers have not gotten to that matchup, or I guess that chemistry even more, because Stewart and Brenner seem to be locked in whenever they play us. But Jerome Bettis finds an open lane and absolutely shoots up the middle into the end zone, and Pittsburgh finds themselves on the scoreboard with the first bit of offense in the end zone all game. So So 7-3 is your score, and Pittsburgh has another opportunity here late in the third quarter to add even more points. So Stewart's going to drop back and send this one across the middle, and I believe it's Edwards he finds across the middle. Again, surrounded by Bengals, but he's the one who comes down with it, and it is a humongous pickup for the Steelers offense, man. That is absolutely killer. We need to lock in on defense. We cannot afford to lose this game, as I said earlier, man. We have like a 65 overall quarterback starting for us right now. Things are not looking good, but we need to play a little bit better as the third quarter comes to an end. And I mean, it's still anybody's game. We are still in a position to win, even though we've done really nothing of note on offense. So Stewart drops all the way back, and pressure is getting to him, but he finds Edwards again across the middle, this time for another first down. So the Steelers' offense is moving. 3rd and 4, however. They are just a few yards away. They're going to give it to Lewis, and Ross makes the initial contact, and I think it's Takeo Spikes who's got to finish it off to prevent any gain for the Steelers' offense. So 4th and 4, they're going to send out the kick unit to add 3 to their lead and extend their lead to 7 points. So that means we are in pretty prime position here to close that gap. We just need this offense to do something, man. Holcomb off his back foot finds, I believe it's Ron Dugans who he finds, and he picks up the first down and gets brought down. So we are moving here, one play. So 1st and 10, we're going to hand it off. I believe it's Gross, the fullback, who coughs it up. He fumbles my football on the ground, man. Again, a huge turnover in our own territory now gives Pittsburgh prime driver's seat position here to really eat up as much time as they want to and get into the end zone or maybe even another field goal, but they cannot get the first down, so they only burn a little bit of time, and on the field goal kick, they do not have the leg to make it. So we sent out John Green earlier in the game for a field goal from about the same distance here as Pittsburgh was attempting, and both of us seemed to be missing the crossbar by about a yard or two. So Pittsburgh had prime opportunity to put this game away, and they completely choked it up. So a minute and a half here. It's 4th and 10, though. We are staring down the end of this game. Holcomb's going to drop back. He's got a clean pocket, and he lasers this one to Sharper, the rookie tight end, who's blanketed by Lethon Flowers, the strong safety, and somehow Sharper comes down with that, man. I am okay with that. A dangerous pass by Holcomb, but hey, man, it works. So now we not only get the first down, but we are well in Pittsburgh territory. With a minute and a half left to go here, we have a chance here to tie this game at the very least, and Holcomb's going to spike the ball here, and we're going to reshuffle the deck and think our choice is over. So on 2nd and 10, Holcomb standing in the pocket, clean, floats this one across the middle, and I believe that's Horn. I think that was maybe a free agent pick. I can't remember, but Horn's like our 4th or 5th guy on the depth chart here as far as receiver goes. So it's rare to call his name out. So on a 3rd and 4 here, time is taken away. Holcomb dropping back again. He's got all day to throw. The Steelers must be in prevent because, man, he is taking all day. And he finds Gross, the fullback, man. Imagine all that time looking downfield, and Gross, the fullback, is the one who he finds. So it is going to be 1st and goal at the 2-yard line for the Bengals offense, and Holcomb is going to spike it here, and we're going to try and send out our best possible formation to get this one in the end zone. That apparently is shotgun formation from the 2, but hey, I won't challenge our coach. Okay, I won't. So from 2nd and goal, and the Steelers apparently still sending everybody in the end zone just in coverage, as there was no pressure sent to Holcomb at all, and they blanketed that pass pretty well. So on 3rd and goal here, we desperately need to get in. We have plenty of time, but we need to get in the end zone. Holcomb taking all day to make a choice again, and he finds Peter Warwick in the back of the end zone for the touchdown, and we managed to tie this ball game pending the extra point late in this game, man. Look, Holcomb's done absolutely nothing all game. You might have seen his stats flash on screen. He's been absolutely horrendous for us, but he managed to put together a somewhat clutch drive here at the end. We were staring down a 4th and 10 at one point, and now we are at least in a position to go to overtime if our defense can lock in and hold the Steelers here to a 3-and-out potentially. So on 1st and 10, they're going to hand off the ball, and it looks like Pittsburgh might even be playing for overtime, but timeouts are going to be blown here on either side. So on 2nd and 6, you're going to go with Lewis, the fullback, and I think that's Ross again who makes a tackle in the backfield, but he kind of just had his block run into, and that was how Lewis kind of hit the ground. So on 3rd and 5 now, the Steelers are going to try and pass for it, because I guess now they're going to decide to move the ball, and they find Hines Ward, who picks up a first down. So that's going to be a timeout blown out by Pittsburgh, because they're like, hey man, maybe we can win this thing. Let's try and get down the field. We got 20 seconds left to operate, which is plenty of time. Madden 01, believe us, we know. So Corder Stewart's going to drop back. And again, he's going to find Troy Edwards, who cuts upfield before he is brought down. And now, I mean, Pittsburgh is in the driver's seat, but they need to get to the line. Hurry, the time is ticking away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and he gets it off. He gets the snap off, but on the spike, the clock hits 0-0. So Pittsburgh, it just completely blows their last opportunity in offense. They completely bungled this. I mean, they had plenty of time. I mean, not plenty of time, but they had a prime opportunity to at least kick a game-winning field goal. But they completely screwed up their last bit of time that they had on that drive. So we're going to OT, ladies and germs, and we have an opportunity to win this game that we have zero business winning, but not if we give up things like that. Lewis, a guy who we've pretty much contained all game long, gets his biggest pickup in OT when we absolutely could not afford to let that happen. I mean, hey, you try enough times, you give him the ball enough times, he's probably running the ball 10, 15 times this game, man. That's nuts for a fullback to do that. But on 1st and 10 now for the Steelers, they're moving closer and closer to midfield. They're going to go with Jerome Bettis, who's got a little bit of room on the left side there, but it closes up pretty quickly. So Pittsburgh trying to rely on that running offense here late in this ball game. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off. But Stewart is going to try and flip this one through the air, and he finds Hines Ward, who's brought down by Newsome. And man, oh man, I can see the loss staring us in the face, man. From our 30-yard line now, Pittsburgh is in the driver's seat. They might need another 5 or 10 yards to really shore up this field goal here. And Jerome Bettis is going to get even more than that as he surges up the middle. Just about has enough open space to get into the end zone, but he gets about 10 or 15 on that carry, and that is pretty much going to seal our coffin for us as Pittsburgh brings out their field goal kicker, and he's going to nail this one right on through, and Pittsburgh is going to walk us off. Man. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's happening, guys. I just, as the lead executive in charge of this product, I do not know what to tell you guys. I have no idea. We need Achilles Smith, okay? And I hate the fact that I just said that, because we should never just need Achilles Smith. That should never be the reason that our team is losing ball games, okay? We have way too many weapons on offense to be struggling as much as we are. But hey, I've absolutely invested zero in the backup quarterback position. So, I mean, this one, I guess, is on me. I mean, at the time I recorded this, I really didn't know that Holcomb was, I mean, gonna get the start. I didn't think he would. He has an absolutely monumentally horrible game. He probably would have got benched in any other normal scenario, but it is what it is. I didn't leave enough time here to look at the injury screen, so we might cover it in the next one here, but I think Achilles Smith broke his thumb, and again, in case you didn't notice, Chris Waller was also not on the field, so another injury to Chris Waller. He was injured for most of his rookie season, so hope to see you guys in the next one here. We hopefully get this thing going back right on the right direction.